How you guys doing today? Welcome back. Today is July 27th, 2021. I have 9 picks for you today. Let's get into it. So if you're new here, we're talking about swing trades you could enter. Now, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the Dow, whatever you like, is really coming down right now. Thank you, Gremlin. They're all kind of collapsing, so I'm not really going to be jumping into anything until I find some support on those indexes that line up with these picks. With that being said, my trading plan consists of risk management, writing said trading plan, macro markets, which were important today, obviously, goal setting, what I want to do, and then we have consistency, mental, fundamental, and technical analysis. Those 8 things is what I do. Today I'm going to show you technical analysis. Now all these picks are pretty vetted already from what I can see fundamentally, and then when it comes to technical analysis, we're going to do we have supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and vortex. That's 9 things. The last thing we always talk about is love. Hi. So I don't want to waste too much time. I want to beat this in 15 minutes, hopefully, with my cat all over me today because he missed me because I went to work today. 9 picks, smaller caps you may not have heard of. We get in early, we get out a little bit earlier than anyone else, we capitalize. If you enjoy this content, before you even choose to subscribe or like, watch the whole video, right? Give me, please, before you do anything, watch the full episode today and see if you like it. If you do, subscribe. If you don't come back, that's fine. Jerk. Otherwise, if you really enjoy this content, in the description box below, check it out for all my other social media. I also have a Discord channel available. Check that out as well. Join 8.2 so you don't get charged for 8.1. With that being said, 9 tickers. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Bang, bang, nerd. So we have, firstly, AMGN. What we have here is our supports are white. Our resistances are orange. Resistance trend line is also orange. Our trend lines that are positive are going to be gold. We then have our POC, that's from volume profile. That's the highest volume node where all the volume does happen. It's gravitational. It's also a support and resistance, as you can see, acting as a support, acting as a resistance. And these 2 lines dictates where 70% of action goes. I am not going to cover volume profile in depth here. Watch this video if you want to learn more about it. 20 minutes. In, out, bing, bang, boom, get it done, come back. You will thank me later, or probably not, because why would you? That's weird. AMGN's a gorgeous triangle. 1, close to 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful hits. This resistance trend line is so gorgeous. 1, 2, 3 hits perfectly. This could come a little bit farther. If I'm being honest, this could probably be closer to maybe coming on a 240 or so. So again, let this pull back to 242, 241, anywhere in here is fine. Earnings are coming. Earnings does not do well with AMGN, but what it does do is a nice build up to earnings. Hey, look at it, a nice build up to earnings. I want to catch that build up to earnings. I don't hold through earnings. It is a good 6 days away. Hopefully we have a nice swing up between now and then. Otherwise, AMGN supports there, POC supports here, trend line support here. Delicious. Let's check the indicators. One thing you're going to notice about my channel is I do not scan with indicators on. I don't use VWAP, I don't use EMA crossovers, I don't use RS130, none of that. I use indicators to show me momentum, trend, volatility, and volume. That's it. Those 4 things, what you should be using these for, they're going to either support your thesis to enter or deter your thesis to enter. So I'm going to use these right now. I have not looked at these ever. These are all live looks. We're going to see what we see. If these look good, it'll either say, hey, Evan, maybe you want to enter this one. Looks pretty good. And then other ones may look bad. It's going to be like, hey, opportunity cost dictates there's better choices out there. Move on. So if you're a newbie, this is me watching these live, seeing these live for the first time. It may teach you something new. It's a great thing that I do. I'm pretty amazing, and I want to get this done in 15 minutes. I'm not going to this point, but we're going to try. AMGN's 200 is acting as a support. You can see a bunch of times it breaks it with power, so again, don't hold. If it does break this tragically, we're not going to hold. We'll just buy lower for support play towards like 233. It seems to be my spot to enter if it does break down. But we have a great support here. If it does hold, it can be an easy peasy lemon squeezy of 2 or 3%. Nothing crazy, but again, going positive in this market's never a bad thing. So that is a good support here. If you break over the 50, that's also a go signal. You now got 2 options with all these entries I'm going to be talking about with the EMA lines. Value is the first, second's a crossover. If we dip down to about 242 here, that's going to be value. It's going to be shown by price action, and the EMA lines will show you value. So you break down below the EMA line here, it's like 242, obvious sign of value. The second's a crossover. If you cross over the 50, that's going to be your signal to go long, move your stop loss up right below the 50, move that bad boy up to mitigate risk, and enter because of the crossover. So if we do go over the 50 and 10 here, we'll be properly stacked, price 10, 50, 200, crossover, go for it, easy day trade, if not an easy run up just like this. If you didn't know that before, boom, subscribe, you'll enjoy my content more, and I'm getting louder as every episode goes on. I'm going to be screaming in about 2 weeks now. Yeah, it is what it is. Good joke, idiot. RSI is right where you want it. Sure, you want a little bit lower, but it only really gets lower on big downtrends. But for consolidating and uptrends, it doesn't get much lower than this. That's good. Stochastic is low. No, no divergence yet. Looks pretty good. I mean, you could technically see this as maybe divergence, but it's pretty muddy. It's definitely not a bad thing, but it's not great. And again, bulls are low. You want a little bit lower, but this is fine. Bears are high. That's pretty good. AMGN, everything checks out. You have 2 entry points. You can cross over that 50 and go for it, or go down lower below 242 and enter there, in my opinion. AMGN, watch listed. Let's see what it does this week. If the markets don't do good, they're selling off. Don't buy anything, but they do come back. AMGN could be good for you. Next is CDE. I called CDE. Full disclosure, over here, we made a nice little trade and then it died. So, I mean, if you would have entered down lower, you would have had a bad day with that one. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, but again, you would have at least gone break even. But now we're down here at support. This support down here is holding very, very well. It consolidates as before. If this does break down because of earnings, I would get out very quickly. What I do see on the 10-day, 15-day is this nice little baby trend up. Okay, we're making some moves. Let this pull back down. Make a nice little buy-in around that area, in my opinion. Looks pretty good. I'm not overly convinced that the support play is going to be perfect. I mean, you go to the 10-year, and you can see the support area has been historically very, very strong. So again, I don't think this is a bad entry by any means, but it could get lower below 7, so I'm not going to rush in. But if I do see a break over this resistance trend line, for sure I would go long. Let's check the indicators. We can see the 50s being a real piece of shit right now. See how it's being a resistance? Boop, 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 boop. Breaking over that will be your long-term go signal. Hey, we broke over the 50. Oh, what a nice run up. Hey, broke over the 50. Run up. 50, 50, 50, 50. Every time you break over that, nice run up. So you want to wait for that crossover, be my guest. But that's going to be your definite go long, hold long signal. RSI could be under 30, but again, it only does that on huge sell-offs or on downtrends. See this big old downtrend would have been burned here. So it's not perfect, but if you can get this a little bit lower, it'll be a good sign. But 42 is still a good deal. Stochastic, I want it lower. Bulls, I want it lower. CDE, I think if it hits that trend line again, noise. But if it doesn't come down that far, I'm not going to have good value. With the market selling off, I want to have some more value. CDE, watch listed. I like it a little bit lower, so again, we get another red day. It could be really good. Let's check it out then. Next is CLWT. First thing off the bat, this resistance trend line is not what I'm going off of for a price target by any means. I'm just measuring to see if it actually does have higher highs, and it does. What's more important is these higher lows across the board here. Delicious. This is a Chef Boyardee swing special. Salt Bay. I don't know. Shut up. CLWT looks really good here. This is beautiful spikeage. If you can get in one of these, you're going to have a beautiful day. The support off these old resistances is pure. All this action becoming support. If we do break down, you're going to be looking probably towards 325 or 325, 330 in here. It is showing a little bit of life right now. If it does hold, easy 10%, 20% for a breakout, risking 4 or 5. Not bad at all. POC should be pulling us higher. Break over that, you're going to be in for a good day. If we break down below all this, I would get out and buy lower. CLWT, I do like it. Let's check the indicators. We can see the 200. This is a John Stockton special. Good rebound. Fake pass to you. Act on it. This is beautiful. CLWT's 200 EMA line is going to show you value. We can see we're bouncing off of like support. Support. It does break down far. I would, again, sell out and wait for life, and then cross back over and buy in. But again, this 200 is a beautiful sight. RSI is low, right where you want it. Stochastic is low, right where you want it. Bulls are low, right where you want them. And bears are, it could be higher, but that's not bad at all. CLWT, every box is checked. 9 out of 10 right there. Boom. Pretty. I like it a lot. CLWT, wait for some life, obviously, but again, you have value. Giving it 10 cents to show you some life, not a bad idea right there. CLWT, watch this week. I like it a lot. GLNG, GLNG, whatever. Golar LNG, looks like tricycle solar, but misspelled it. That's fine. Good jokes today, man. I'm bad. GLNG was a broadening wedge. You see this right here? How you had higher highs and then you have this over here. This means that this pattern is most likely going to break. You have higher highs doing this way, and you have your support line going this way. Eventually, one of these will not be hit, and this pattern will break. So again, we're hoping we break this resistance trend line and keep the support going. That's the goal. This supporting trend is gorgeous. This support is gorgeous. I do want it closer underneath $11 for a value play, but the POC pulling us higher. This support, again, you may come down to like 1052. That's fine. Let this bad boy come to us, and when we break this resistance trend line, it should be off to the races for a few days. Let's check the indicators. What we can see is that we're going to wait for the 200 and the 50 are going to be hard resistances, right? Especially the 200. See when you hit the 200, you don't get over it. Especially when it's paired with the 50, even here was a support. So again, for your short-term price target, if you can't get over this 50, which is lining up perfectly with the trend line, sell out, buy in lower. You're not going to make it over it. But once you do, it should be a happy, happy day for you. RSI, it's low. Great. Stochastic is low. Great. This is a little bit concerning as well. I want the bulls lower, the bears higher. But again, if bulls do hold over and break out, that'll be a good sign. It's not bad. The vortex is the only concerning thing here. It's not terrible by any means. I don't hate it, but I don't love that either. GLNG, let it get to value if you have a red day tomorrow. Let that bad boy pull back to us. And then once you break over the 50, go long. GLNG, like it a lot in my opinion. Looks pretty good. Next is LCTX. Is this a channel up forming? Let's take this resistance trend line and come on down. It is not. It's more severe. This is definitely a wedge up. This will not last forever. Wedge ups do break. This is a great trend line though. Gorgeous. The support area is beautiful and obvious. With an old resistance, became a support here, became a support here, became a support here. You have, okay, you have lower highs, whatever, but you have very low risk, 4 or 5%, you get out. And this makes a full move here. That's saying, will. You have about 24%. That's about a 6-to-1 ratio for what you're risking, what you're getting. If the support holds, it even hits around 295, it's definitely worth it. LCTX, a good cheap stock. Let it come down a bit farther. Give day 253, 252. I'll be very happy. Let's check these indicators out together. We can see that the 200, when we're below it, is going to give you value. When we break over it, you're going to have some life. You can see the 50s being a real piece of work here. We can't get over the 50. Once you get over it, it acts as support as always. But when you're below it, it's going to be resistance. So again, if you do make a move, let's say you go into 252, you buy in, whatever, good 7% and starts to die off, you're going to know why. Those email lines are being a resistance. RSI, it's low. You want a little bit lower, but that's fine. Stochastic looks pretty good here. It's low. You want to see some life. That's really good. Bulls right where you want them. Bears right where you want them. LCTX minus these email lines being a resistance, which is kind of happening recently with this huge sell-off, is a fantastic setup. LCTX, watch this. Let's see what it does. I do like that one a lot. Next is MXIM. Oh, shit, it's already taken off. Well, I called this in Discord about an hour ago. Hopefully folks are watching. That'd be pretty dope. It's cool either way. I don't care. I like helping them, and hopefully they like it a lot in the early calls. If you want my calls early in the day, join my Discord. If not, see you at 4 o'clock or so, dork. We can see a great wedge down. Now, again, it's not perfect, right? But we can see clearly lower lows, lower highs at different severities. We're trying to get in a value down here, break out, have a nice play, a nice run up. We can see the same thing happening over here. Wow, look at this. It's almost like patterns and stuff. Do this often. Wow, it's like almost like a wedge over here in some way, like that. Oh, a wedge down, broke out, big move. MXIM support is based off this gap. That's great. Old resistances, not really the purest over here. Again, it could be a little bit lower. Probably may dip down and maybe like 93.40, or maybe the support's a little bit higher where it's holding up probably towards near 95.30. But this gap area is going to be your support. If this holds and breaks, get out, because once it breaks this wedge down, see you later, it's done for. But this trend up is gorgeous. This resistance trend line is a great goal to break above. I like this one a lot. Let's check these indicators out. We can see the 200 shows value. Oh, we're down here for almost a month, right? This is about a month down here, right? 22 days. Great value, great value. Took off, would have made a nice 12%. Oh, down here again, nice value. Oh, down here again, nice value. So again, the 50 is going to be a resistance. The 200 will be a small one, but again, we have clear value. RSI, it's almost at 30. It's at 40. Again, a small pullback is what you want, but again, this is a great value. Stochastic still coming down. Let's get down to negative 40. That'd be good. Bulls coming down, bears going up. MXIM, I wanted to show some consolidation for a few days, drop down one more peg, and then go back up. MXIM, I think we wanted a little bit lower from where it is, but again, that setup is still very pretty. Like it a lot, watchlist it. Next is OSTK. There can definitely be some resistance trend line somewhere in here. You know, there's really good uptrends here of higher highs. I don't see a pure one, so I didn't want to put one because it could be this, like that. It could be down here from this little spot and up, making a broadening wedge. There's a lot of different ones. I'm not gonna go into it, but again, draw a resistance trend line if you do see one. What I see though is a trend line just like this, once, twice, maybe 3 times for a kind of wedge play, but also an overlapping support right here for a trend line. This support area, again, not the greatest. We're going off of this gap area mainly, and again, this old resistance, this support area, it's not bad, but again, this does come up and come back down quicker. Look for a 73, 74 entry. OSTK has earnings coming. Be prepared. When that happens, big volatile moves. Huge run up to it, collapse. Huge run up to it, collapse. Huge run down, maybe it goes up. We'll see. OSTK like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Bum, bum. Click the mouse. We can see that the 250 are going to be resistances. That's the main key. When you're above them, supports, below it, resistances. Again, I said that every episode. But it's, you know, important to kind of help our new people out. So we have pure value down here, beautiful, but again, you're improperly stacked, price 10, 50, 200. That's not the best thing to buy into, but again, for value, that's pretty clear, right? RSI is almost at 30, great. Stochastics, dummy low, great. Bulls low, bears high. The only thing I don't like about this, and it's obvious, is we're improperly stacked. I don't love having the 250, 10 price setup, but again, you're buying into value. That's pretty cool. So OSTK, I like it a lot. Watch this. Let's see what it does. Second to last is ping, like ping pong. We can see that word right down into value, showing some life. I'm not buying into this thing. It's really going to be life on the major indexes. But the support play is crystal clear. I mean, this is idiot proof, right? You come over here, you buy towards 2165. You buy anywhere over here, and usually you're pretty okay. This is great. You have lower highs though, so be cautious. If you do make a move of 5 or 6%, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Right, if you break out of that and you can hold, you may have a good move up to the $25 range. I'm not going to bet on that, but again, that's a nice move of 12%. You're risking probably 2 or 3. It checks out for risk versus reward. Let's check these indicators. I assume they're going to be going sideways. Yes, they are. So the 50 is a small resistance. Doesn't really give much difficulty. It's the 200 that's being real difficult, right? So we do show some life. You hit the 200 and die, you're going to know why. Get out, and then once you break over it, you should have a good old time, as we can see. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, I want about 7 pippies lower. Give me some little pips off, baby. Put down negative 40, we'll be good to go right about there. And then, of course, bulls, if they die here, we're going to probably consolidate for a while. If bears do win, again, consolidating, but bulls continue up, we should hopefully have a nice bounce and keep going. PING, it's not bad. I think there's better, easier plays from a few days ago that probably still hold some weight and some merit to buy into. But it's really good for support play. If you're more of a beginner, it's an easy play, right? You can work on making a trading plan, getting in, getting out. Good stuff. PING, watch listed. Last and not least, but also probably one of the more clean, it's more of a veteran play, is VNET, VNET. On the 10-year chart, again, this support area is pretty good, but lower towards 1264, even better at 1139. Then we have a gorgeous play. This wedge though is undeniable. This is definitely a fantastic spot to buy into. This support it's valid, but who's on the 10-year chart going back and being like, I bet VNET will bounce here? Nobody, right? But this is really a good wedge. I mean, it could keep going down, but I mean, you could easily make 20-30% on a full move up, which is incredibly enticing, knowing that the risk is probably fairly slim, especially if we do hold. Let's say we wait a few weeks and it comes down to $12. Down here, VNET's going to be an absolute snack. Let's check the indicators out. VNET's obviously going to have EMA lines above it. That's going to be resistances. You can see the 200 resistance, 200 resistance, 50, 50, 50, 50. So if we hit that and show no life, you want to get out, get your profits. You're not going to make it over that. RSI is at 30. Doesn't mean much on a downtrend, but again, that is a great value. Stochastic is low. That's fantastic. We can see divergence forming. We can also maybe hear my landscapers outside mowing my lawn. I apologize if so. And then, of course, bulls low, bears high. VNET, it hits every box you want to see for a descending wedge. I don't usually love descending wedges, but what's good about this is that in this market with this guy being so high up, you know, if you're already kind of coming down, it's not a bad play for sell-offs. I like it a lot. VNET watches it. Let's see what it does. What was that? 17, 18 minutes? 19? Ooh. Insert solid snake sound. Bleep. We can see some great plays here, 9 great plays for tomorrow. If the market continues to sell off, I'm not going to buy into anything. That's stupid. I don't buy high and sell low. I buy low, sell high. So if the indexes are really high up there and selling off, I'm going to wait for them to come right down into my little mitts. Delicious. And then buy off a value. If they continue to sell off, find some overbought stocks and short them. Easy. Put some puts on them. Whatever. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' Tuesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another Watchlist episode. I do appreciate you. Check out the description box for more. We'll see you guys then. Gremlin, everyone, have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you.